Good job, baby. Don't drop it. Oh, what's this? Yeah. Oh, okay. Today we are finally going to answer some questions that I kept getting and some things I wanted to talk to you guys about, just to get into a little more detail about Ryder. Yeah. Oh, okay. Ryder yesterday turned 2.5 months, so he is getting bigger. And he's going up so fast. I remember he was just in my tummy. He's trying to, he figured out what his hands and his feet are now, so now he's starting to grab things and grab his feet in his hands and put in his mouth, because that's all he's doing. But he is such a good baby. That is something that I kept getting asked. If he wakes up at night, how good of a baby he is he a crier, do you have to carry him? So we're just gonna get into detail about Ryder and about some of the questions I got for my labor, how I feel being a mom, what are my goals after now. I was a fitness fanatic before, and if I'm still gonna do that, what's gonna happen with me? Am I going to school? So since you guys are chismosos, I decided to make a video. Since Ryder is 2.5 months, he's about to get into the age where he's gonna start eating solid foods. Well, not solid foods, but like purees, and start eating stuff besides my breast milk, which is gonna be easier for me because, oh, and my breastfeeding journey. He gets mad when he can't. Dad, con dos. Yes. He's like getting into a stage where I'm gonna have to like be able to give him other things in my breast milk, and we've noticed it too, that when we're eating, he like wants to, like, you know, see, like, he wants it, he's craving it now, and so like we feel bad now because now he's gonna start doing that. So he's growing so fast. It's so sad. I mean, it's good because like I get to see more things he gets to do, but he's not gonna be a little baby anymore. No. Anyways, so the first thing I want to talk about is my labor, well, my pregnancy, since that was first. I was pregnant during the epidemic. So when the epidemic started, I was 5 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant. Gustavo was unable to be in the ultrasound visits the first time, and the second time we found out the baby's gender. So he didn't really see how he was growing and how he was developing, and I wasn't able to FaceTime call him or even record because it was like against policy. So it kind of sucked that I basically went to the doctor visits alone. Even though he would be there, he would go into where they would stop him and tell him you can't be here anymore. So it was kind of like heartbreaking having to separate from him, especially since he's our first child, and like we want to see him do everything together. And then when we had the, what is it called, the quarantine lockdown, he was fresh out of his accident. He was really starting to work, and we were really getting back on our feet when everything happened with the virus. So it was we didn't get to do the gender reveal, and then we didn't get to do a baby shower. Well, like, I thought we weren't going to be able to have a baby shower, but then my family surprised me with the drive-by baby shower towards the last couple weeks of pregnancy. So it was kind of nice to have that, and wait, I thought you hit your head. We also we're hearing that the dads can't be, like, no one can be with you when you're going into labor because of the virus. And then we heard that they test them before going in, and once you're in, you can't get out. So it was very scary. It was scary as it is for us to go deliver for a baby, because it was our first and we didn't know what to expect. Plus the virus going on, it was just too much for us, and I was very, very scared. I would tell him every day I was scared to go into labor, but then I was just like, I want him out, because I was comfortable. I caught it. I was uncomfortable throughout the pregnancy on the 3rd trimester, which is crazy because no one tells you in reality what pregnancy is. They tell you, oh, like, you just think of it, oh my god, your belly grows, you see it grow, you have a baby in you, and then you can do all these cute little maternity pictures, the belly cast, and then afterwards the baby and like his cuteness. But it's more than that in pregnancy. I thankfully didn't get morning sickness. That's something that Gustavo did for. And The only thing I did have was my legs were getting so swollen, my back was aching, my boobs were hurting a lot. He is inactive, as you can see. He always moves his feet or his hands or something, and in my stomach he was the same way, so my stomach would always keep moving. But the thing is, when he would feel like when we would try to record him, he'll stop. And till this day he'll do that, and he'll just be serious, and it's hard to get pictures of him smiling, but Gustavo was like really good at it. Going into labor, it was scary because I was so sure I was ready, but I was not. I didn't even know what I needed afterwards. I didn't think of it. I thought, oh, I still have time. But they did tell me, like, oh, like, by the end of May, you're going to have your baby regardless, because my due date was June 8th. And he was here on May 30th at 5 a.m. And, yeah. Can I say hi? He likes to sit down and be standing up. He hates being carried, or, like, for so long, he hates being carried. Like, this is not going to last. So I cherish these moments. Right? You want to try? Here. For I think it was May 27th, we were just chilling in the bed, and it was that one day I tried walking, the yoga ball, eating spicy. I tried everything they said that would help you and get induced to get him out. And I kid you not, I tried everything and nothing would work. And this one day he had just came home from work early, which was something he was doing that week, that he kept getting home early, which is kind of weird. Yes, baby, hold it. And he finally settled in, and I was on my phone and he was on his phone. He was slouching against the wall, and all of a sudden, like, I feel him kick me really hard, and I had a cup of water next to me with ice, because at that moment I was so obsessed with ice in my pregnancy, like eating ice, that it was more ice than water. And I just feel like a bunch of water going up my back and my butt and everywhere, like on the bed. And I was like, oh my god, I just dropped a cup of water. But the cup of water was on top of the bed frame, so I was like, it's not the cup of water. And then Gustavo was like, what do you mean it's not the cup of water? And he got up, and I was like, baby, my water just broke. And I was like, go call your mom, like, I want to make sure it broke. So he goes, calls his mom, and he was like tripping out, and like I knew he was scared because of his sound of his voice. And his mom comes, and she was like, your water just broke, go shower, like, go, like, calm, like, stay calm. And my first reaction was to call my mom, and I told her, hey, my water just broke. But I said it so calm, so she didn't believe me. But in my voice, like, I was scared, because I was like kind of having a shaky voice. Hey, what's wrong? And she was like, what, like, right now? And I was like, yeah, like, I was just sitting down in the bed, and then my water just breaks. And she's like, are you in pain? And I was like, no, like, I'm not in pain at all. And I wasn't in pain for an hour. I didn't go to the hospital right away, because I was like, I don't want to go and be locked in a room and feel the pain more, and you know. And since my water broke, I was like, I can't be out more than 2 hours, you know, because of infections. I was like, let's go walk, let's let me shower, let me get everything ready, get everything in, like, from the hospital, because we had just packed our hospital bags. I was like, get that in the car, get the snacks in the car, get my water, get my mask, like, we'll get everything ready, and then we'll go walk, come back, and then we'll leave. And then I started getting pains on the way to the hospital, and I was like, no, like, I'm in labor, like, now I know I'm in labor. We get to the hospital in the ER, and they didn't believe I was in labor because of how calm I was, but I told them my water broke. So then right away they put me on a wheelchair, they took me to triage, and they checked. I took 10 minutes in triage before they told me, okay, you're in labor, let's go get you in a room. And that night there was the day before that there was a moon eclipse, and that same night the triage was filled with people in labor, and it was such a busy night. So it was like that floor was just full of babies coming out. And my nurse, which her name was Maritza, she was my nurse for the night, because we did go in at like 8 in the night. And she was like talking to me and like explaining the procedure before Gustavo was able to come in. And then Gustavo finally comes in, and he was like all excited, and he was like, oh my god, he's gonna be here. We were like, oh, he's gonna be here soon. No, I took 32 hours in labor before I was able to even push. So I didn't even 27th, I did 29, 28 and the night, and then 29 I was in labor. 29, I don't don't know, something like that. And we began to, what baby? Where's your toy? We began to look, you wanna see yourself? Look. We began to get settled, and they started putting IVs in me, and they checked me to see if I was dilating, and I did not dilate at all. I had to be induced, even though that was their plan, but if he wasn't born soon. He was supposed to be born before the 30th, before the 31st, because of how big he was in my body, because my body was small. And did you just throw it? It's okay. And they gave me the liquid one, which was Pitocin, to be induced to see if I would dilate like that. And then later on in the night, they came again and they checked me because I was in so much pain. I got the epidural to see if they would dilate me, which I didn't want to do because I heard like really bad things afterwards. The epidural, which is true, like my back still aches. I felt like I still had a needle on my back. So I was like, no, I don't want it. But the pain was so high, and they said the epidural makes it go away. Nope. I felt everything. The pain didn't go. White Kojos. The pain didn't go away. I just felt from my hips down, nothing from my hips down. They even gave me the epidural with the thing, and they replaced the bag of the medicine twice because I kept pushing it because of how bad it felt. Because not only did I get one thing for inducement, I got two. I got the little pills, which was called Miso, and I got the Pitocin, and I still didn't dilate. So that's why it took so long, and I guess that's common for your first baby. But to me, it seemed weird because I tried everything to dilate and it didn't work. So I guess it was just my body, how it reacted. With the belts, my body the belts weren't able to detect the contractions or his heart rate. And with so much medication, his heart rate kept going up and down. So they put in a machine for his heart rate inside of me so they can get it accurate. And his heart kept going up and down, and they were preparing me for an emergency C-section. And I was just like, I can't deal with this pain. And I told Gustavo, I was like, just take me to C-section. I cannot stand this pain. And he was like, no, you're almost there. Like, it's okay. Like, just keep going, because if you get the C-section, it's only going to get worse. And the C-section room was across the room from where I was at. And Gustavo was out there preparing it. This was like at 4 in the morning that they said, oh, we're going to start preparing the C-section because we've checked you so much and you've been open and your water has broken for such a long time. It can cause an infection and it can get worse. So then I was like, no, like, try, like, do whatever. So at 12, I told the nurse, you know what, I feel something coming out. They didn't believe me. At 3 in the morning, I told the nurse again, I feel so much pressure. I feel something coming out. And they were like, let me go call the doctor. He can't keep checking you because it's going to give you an infection. So then they changed nurses, and the new nurse came, and I honestly don't remember her name, and I really wish I did because, oh my gosh, she was like the best nurse. She was like an angel sent to us because she would explain every little detail, everything to me, and everything what's going to happen right now, what's going to happen later, what's going to happen after. Like, she told me everything. So then I was just like, I feel something coming out. I really feel a lot of pressure. It's not the machine. Please, like, go call the doctor. So then when she heard that, she was like, oh, let me check for you. And then she like put her head down and she got up right away, went to the door, screamed something to the outside. And I just see a bunch of people coming in, the nurses, the doctors, the supervisor for the nurses, and the supervisor for the doctor. And the room just got filled with people within a matter of seconds. And that's when they told me, the lady was like, you know what, relax, he's just gonna check you, okay? I just think I saw some ahead. I just want to make sure. He just wanted to clarify. You're just playing games, huh? And so then I was like, okay, like okay. And me and Gustavo was next to me, and he would poke his head, and he would look at me, and he would poke his head, and I don't know if he was trying to do that so like I wouldn't get scared or anything. And the doctor's like, okay, it's time to push. And I was like, what do you mean it's time to push? Like, I thought, I was expecting to think, no, like, you still haven't dilated. And then he was like, yeah, his head is out. You need to push it now. And I was like, okay. And everybody was like, okay, get over here, put your leg over here. And I couldn't move my legs. Like, that's how numb they were. That they moved me. And they moved me down to the thing where you put your legs at. And when I was, like, really getting settled and I was, like, trying to, like, understand what's happening, they're like, okay, push. This is how you're gonna push. And they explained it to me, and then I pushed, and I probably did like 4 pushes total, and he was already out. It wasn't more than 20 minutes, and they told me pushing takes up to 4 hours, and I was like, 4 more hours? And they started laughing, and I was like, no, I can. That's when they told me it's okay, just worry about pushing, and then you can take 5-second breaks and push again, but the more you push, the faster it gets out. So then Gustavo was like, he was so good, and I expected him to be like almost fainting and being scared. Like, I was that person. Like, he was so good. I just can't get over it. Like, I remember it, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, if it wasn't for him, I think I would have like probably done C-section, or I probably would have taken longer to get him out. And once he was out, he came out not even crying. They had to spank him for him to cry, and he didn't even cry. They put him under the light to clean him and to wrap him up and stuff. And the nurse like did something to him, and he just screamed at him like, ah. And then that's like, okay, he's good, because we got scared that we didn't hear. After that, they gave him to me. They were stitching me up, so I didn't get him right away, and they were checking him too, his heart rate, because of his heart rate that was concerning them a lot. And Gustavo was in both sides. He didn't know where to go. He was just so excited, so I understood that part. And then after I gave birth and I was settled and they put pads on me and everything, I started to shake like crazy, and me and Gustavo got scared, because I've heard like crazy stories after birth, like they bleed out, they this and that, and I was very scared for that. So when I started shaking, I got scared and I started to cry, and he was getting scared, so he asked the nurse what's going on, and then they're like, no, it's okay for you to shake. Like, that's a good sign. Your body had so much your body just went through so much that it's bound to react somehow, and you shaking is common. It's gonna go away within 5 minutes, which is true, because when I got to my new room, which was like 20 minutes after giving birth, I was fine. Like, I was able to sit up, and like when an hour into after giving birth, they always want to make you get up. It was very painful when I got up, but they wanted me to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't. So they were like, we're gonna have to put a catheter, I think it's what they called, for you to go to the bathroom, because we can't have you not go to the bathroom. So here I am trying to pee and trying to stuff, and I couldn't. And then I eventually went to the bathroom, and I was recovering really good. I was ready to go home, but Ryder ended up getting jaundice the second day. Normally it's 2 days at the hospital and you go home. So we were there for 3 days, and his numbers are still high when we left, but because there's like an age gap where like the numbers change, he was cleared, and they had like a newborn checkup soon, so it was like they were like, we'll check him again throughout that time. So then we finally come home. We were just so tired. Well, I was just so tired. I just wanted to sleep. But since I was breastfeeding him, I had to, be awake once here and there. And what? Can I tell you a story or what? So me and Gustavo worked as a team, and I would do the day, and he would do. So we had a little breastfeeding break, and then now he's falling asleep. So bear with me. This video's gonna be everywhere, just because I forget everything easily. Once we came home, it was just so much easier. I had more help. I had my mom coming and bring me food, and then Gustavo was only able to have 1 week off, so he was with me at home for 2 days, and then he went back to work because Ryder was born on a Thursday, I believe. Came home on Tuesday. By Saturday, he was already going back to work. I think Saturday or Tuesday. I don't know, in between those days. So then I had my mother-in-law, I had my mom, I had Gustavo, so they were helping me out. And since the bed is pretty high, like, it was hard for me to go up and down, so I just stayed in the living room, and I would come in the room to feed him and then go back in the living room. And since Ryder was sleeping so much because of jaundice, that's one of the side effects or symptoms of jaundice, that they sleep so much, I had to wake him up every 3 hours. It was just very hard, because I kept going in and out of the hospital the first couple weeks because of his jaundice and then his kidney. It was just so much to cope with, and so much blood work for him, and it was just so sad for me seeing my little baby get preggled and getting blood out of him, because he was still so tiny. Like, he was only having certain days, and he's already getting so much blood work done, and I felt guilty. I'm not gonna lie. Postpartum depression was something I was very fearful for, because I hear postpartum depression is very bad, but at least I don't think I have that. After I gave birth, I blame this on the epidural, because I used so much of it. My legs, oh my god, when I tell you they were swollen, they were like elephant feet. My feet were so fat. I think I have a video and I will insert it. I mean, like, they were bad. Like, you just saw, like, they were really, really bad. So that lasted me probably 2 weeks, almost 3, and it hurt every time I walked, and it hurt when I was just standing. It just hurt so much. I blame that was the other than that, I healed really fast. I was able to clean, and like when Gustavo went back to work, I was on my own basically. So I was like, I need to clean, I need to do things. So I started to clean. I obviously didn't bend so much and grab stuff because it did hurt. Sitting down was so painful, and then when the stitches were dissolving, it was just so itchy and so irritating. It was just annoying. My body fat, and before I used to work out insanely, so I had muscle, and now it's just fat because I didn't work out through my pregnancy. Looking at my body, and I'm like, okay, like this is how much work I need to do and how much dedication and discipline, and you know. So I was just like terrified with my feet. I'm not gonna lie. Postpartum is very difficult with that and with my bleeding, because they told me that I wasn't supposed to be bleeding because I'm breastfeeding, but I got the Nexplanon birth control, so they were like, maybe it has to do with that. And I had my period like for 3 whole months straight to do. Eventually I got the okay to work out, and I started to work out recently, and it's not the same. I'm gonna tell you that it's not the same. I used to wake up at 5 in the morning, work out twice a day. I was strictly a vegetarian. I was on not a good diet, but I was like, I avoided junk food, I avoided sweets, I ate things without like so much like I didn't even eat dressing with my vegetables, and I was very good at eating. I even had a fitness page, and I was doing good, and then when my pregnancy came, I just got very, very lazy and didn't feel like doing any of that. I was still a vegetarian. If you're pregnant, shower before you go to the hospital, because trust me, you're not even gonna be able. Well, I wasn't even able to shower because how like stuck I was to Ryder. Like I was obsessed with him. I just wanted to hold him. I just wanted to kiss him. I just wanted to do everything to him. But I was so scared because he was so tiny. He was 6 pounds 4 ounces, and he was just so tiny. I felt like I was gonna hurt him. But we eventually got over the fear. Even at home, I was still scared to shower him, and it didn't take until like when he was 3 weeks old, 2 weeks old, I started to shower him myself. But I was very, very scared of just grabbing him to feed him because like he was so tiny, you know. So I was just like, I'm not gonna hurt him. Then comes my breastfeeding journey. So like I told you, this video is going to be everywhere, but as I go, I remember and I start talking about things. But if you're planning on breastfeeding, trust me, your journey is going to be difficult, and there's going to be times where you're going to want to give up, like I did. So when I was breastfeeding him, I was doing so good. The first day with him, my milk came in right away, so he was able to get milk. He was able to, I think that's why he got over jaundice right away. One is going to be bigger than the other, one's going to give you more milk than the other. There's going to be a day where, like, one day for me, my milk just disappeared. I didn't have any milk. He wasn't eating. He was crying and getting like, he was just not eating the whole day, and I was getting stressed out. So I tried half formula, half breast milk, because my milk wasn't going as how like I wanted to. I was eating okay, but at the time when my milk left, I think that was a way for me to wake up, because I was starting to eat out more. I was taking care of myself, and since I started breastfeeding, I thought, because of everything he was going through, I was like, I think it's me not eating meat that's affecting him, because there's protein in, you know, in the meats that I'm missing, and the vitamins aren't giving me. So then I started to just exclusively eat chicken and turkey. So then ever since then, my milk was going back and, you know, stimulating, until that one day my milk disappeared, and I was just crying, and I was just so upset. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to do formula. I mean, I knew formula was okay too, you know, but I didn't want to do formula because I wanted to do this so bad. For doctor recommended me 2 brands, but he didn't like Enfamil. I think that's how you pronounce it. He just did not like it, didn't go with it. So then I got Similac. This was a doctor recommended one. From when I took him to get his checkup, I asked him, like, you know what, my milk's it's not doing good, and I'm not feeling him enough. What do you recommend? He gave me another brand. He didn't like it, so then he told me try this one. So then I tried this one, and this is actually the one that he's liked so far. He takes it good, he drinks it, he falls asleep, he's filled, he's happy. So then when he doesn't want my boob, or when I don't have enough milk, I give him bottle, and then when my boobs start to fill up, I pump it out and I just freeze it. I put reminders on my phone, 3 reminders for meals and 2 snacks, and reminders to drink water. So I'm trying to, it's just water is the only thing I'm struggling with. I'm trying to drink 8 cups of these or less, and I started to put water in mint to give it some flavor, because water to me is just so nasty, and I just I cannot keep drinking water so much. I don't know, it's just something with me and water, you know. I don't know what it is. I used to be able to drink water like nothing, but now it's just so weird. So I have a breakfast reminder, and then after breakfast, in between 2 hours, I have a snack. Lunch reminder, and then I have a snack, and then I have a dinner reminder, and I have a quick snack before bed, because since I breastfeed him through the night, I get very hungry. But me eating a snack before bed makes me not get. And since I have those reminders, I look at my phone and I'm like, oh, okay, I have to go eat breakfast at this time. Oh, I have a snack at this time. So that, I feel like, increased my milk supply. And then me and my family were like finding ways to like increase my milk. I bought atole. I tried sesame seed with oatmeal and blended that and put it with water, like kind of like gonna try the consistent thing, and it was working. Heat pad, I tried massaging, I tried pumping and feeding him, and I don't know what out of all of those things helped, but I got my milk supply back, and I started to give him more food. So now what I'm doing is just giving him 1 bottle a day in case that happens again. He's already used to the formula, and I'm giving him my boob as much as I can. So breastfeeding was just so hard. I was ready to give up. Honestly, I was about to just give him formula, but then my milk supply just came like nothing, like literally like in a day, like in a night it came, because in the morning I woke up and the bed was just filled with breast milk everywhere. My shirt was so soaking, everything was just so bad, like I had to wash everything, and I was just like, okay, like I was just so stressed out about milk, so stressed about not being having a stash in the freezer, so stressed about everything, like, you know, for him, that it was what affected my milk. And that's a very important thing, is not to be stressed. So I was just not listening to myself and listening to others telling me, don't think about it, don't worry about it, it's gonna be okay. So now I'm finally okay with doing formula and breast milk, which is something that was very challenging. So that was my breastfeeding journey, and it's still going up and down, but it's doing so much better. I'm eating like cleaner now. I'm trying not to eat out as much, but like there's times where I just don't feel like cooking, or Gustavo doesn't feel like cooking, and we just take up what is it like to be a mommy, how does it feel. To be honest, I didn't expect to be so in love with someone in a matter of seconds after you meet that person. I just felt like I've known him for so long, and I just wanted to like protect him at all costs. Even like there'll be times where like relatives will hold him, and I'm like, they're like, be careful with this, don't do that, get away from him, you know. Like, I'm very protective with him, and so is Gustavo. But it's such an amazing feeling seeing him every morning. Like, that's the first thing he does. He smiles when he sees you, and then he cries. But he smiles. You carry him, and I feed him, and then I let Gustavo hold him and play with him before work. And seeing them be together just makes me so happy. Like, you just get this nice feeling inside of you. And then when I'm like having a hard time, or I'm like frustrated, or I'm upset or something, and I look at him, I just like, it goes away. Like, he's just like this therapeutic thing that's with you all the time. Feeling being a mom to him and having such a good baby. When I mean like such a good baby, like he's so calm. Like, he's only fuzzy when he's tired, or he only cries when he's hungry, he's tired, his diaper, he doesn't really cry at all. Recently he started crying, but that's because he's starting to teeth, so it's common for them to get fuzzy and crying. But he's just such a good baby, and it's so easy for me. And I mean, like, I'm so lucky that it's easy for me, because he did his own routine, and I'm so glad that it works out for me and Gustavo. Another thing is fitness. What am I gonna do about my fitness? What is my new dieting or whatever? So I'm not doing anything strict diet or strict fitness. I am trying to emphasize trying to eat more healthy and cleaner. Waking up at 6 in the morning every day, and trying to work out for at least 20 minutes and start my day off. At least satisfy myself with my fitness to the scientifically proven point. It takes 50 days for your body to get used to you getting used to your working out, and like, you know. So for the next 30 days, I'm going to try to eat more cleaner, you know, avoid eating so much sugar and drinking more water, and exercising a little bit more. If I don't exercise, at least go on